Our speaker, Andrew Ure, is a professor of chemistry, natural philosophy, scientist, and also inventor. Will be with us today. So, Mr. Ure, what influenced you to write your most notified book, The Philosophy of Manufactures? There are many things that influenced me, but the idea that the Industrial Revolution had many disadvantages to its people made me want to prove that they were wrong. Many people have criticized you for your works, even though you had evidence to back up your claims. Would you care to voice the challenges you faced and what you did to overcome them? People during this time didn't encourage free trade in England, but I proved that free trade benefited employed people, especially by lowering the cost of customer products. I was motivated to write this book because the misunderstanding of child labor in factory environments. The outside world was informed that the workers labored under dangerous and inhuman conditions and contracted fatal diseases. This was for the most part not true. Threatened aristocrats wanted to thwart free trade legislation. The doctors who stated that they carried fatal diseases have either never been inside a factory nor examined a worker properly. Child labor during the Industrial Revolution was a common sight in everyday life. What do you think about child labor? I believe that child labor was not as bad as it is said to be. The Sadler Commission especially concentrated its attention on this idea of child labor, knowing that the charge of abuse by heartless capitals would provoke such a public outrage that legislation would be easier to pass. The children working on the slubbing billy, a machine used to make wool into rolls of string, was reported by the commission to be beaten by the supervisors. This was false. They didn't even work for the factories, and instead they worked for independent contractors during this time. Child labor itself wasn't very large as they said it was. I conducted a study of the major cotton mills in Manchester. I found that the workers between the age of 9 and 10 only made up 1.7% of the workforce. 3.2% of the workers were between 10 and 12. Demonstrated that children constituted an insignificant portion of the workforce. Together, represented a small percent of all those employed. As more machines that didn't need human labor began to function, started to appear, the number declined even further. What was your philosophy on the Industrial Revolution at this time? Did the machines and the changes have a positive influence overall? Like I said in my book, The Philosophy of Manufactures, I believe that the age of the machines had a positive influence on everyone. They are now able to copy products that are impossible to copy by the human hand. The developments have also made a greater quality of work with the time labor and quality remaining the same. And lastly, they substituted the need for experienced, skilled workers. So now the average unskilled could labor too. Thank you for answering these questions. We hope to know more about you.